Welcome back to the show. We got a big story brewing, and I need your help to figure it out. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Good morning. Man, do I love the smell of crypto in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe for me. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com. Right now, $2.26 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off by 0.3. We see 62,200 plus for Bitcoin, 2,400 plus for Ethereum, 119 billion plus market cap for Tether right now. USDC 35 billion plus. XRP number 7 spot, 53 cents. We're up 1.2 on the 24. We're off by 13.6 on the 7-day, ladies and gentlemen. Yikes. Ay caramba. That is not the number we're looking for here. Good gracious. Will somebody remind anyone in the crypto space that the market's going the wrong way? Get up that hill. Well, you know what? You got to have fun with it sometimes, because the truth is that we're victim to what's going on right now. Victim of circumstance. Let's look at the range of price. Ranging between 52, 54 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. Well, let me show you this really quickly here. Let me tell you what. This is why I get excited, because it's the big players in this system like Uphold, the CEO, Simon McLaughlin, letting you know that while this crypto winter has been upon us, they've been building, they've been growing, they've been bringing new things to us. They've become a neobank. Take a quick listen. This got me so excited when I saw the email come across, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, so I'm an investor. I have a lot of assets on this platform, and I'm thinking to myself, let's suppose we get into this next bull cycle here, and I take $2.5 million worth of profit. You're telling me I can move that profit right on my Uphold account, right over into USDC, and it's actually USD, not USDC, and earn 4.9% on my gains while I continue to invest, continue to do these things, and on top of it, you're telling me that $2.5 million is FDIC insured, Simon?
That's right.
That's incredible. You got to go watch the whole interview. I just put it out yesterday. It's fantastic. And what they're doing is amazing. And I want to remind people right now, you could get Uphold private equity on Link2's platform. Are you kidding me right now? I want you to find another place where you can get $2.5 million FDIC insurance on your gains after you go into USD. I'll wait. It's amazing. And that's just getting started. Don't forget about the Ripple Uphold partnership. You can get Ripple private equity too. That's why I tell you, it's no joke. It's the best home for private equity in the world. Click the link to my sponsor below the video. Sign up, register, get started. It only takes minutes, probably less than 5 minutes. And then you're buying, baby. That's what's up. Let's look at this. Starlink, keep this in mind. I'm showing you this because Starlink gets the green light from the FCC. How many times have I been saying the SEC? That started off that way. But they get the green light from the FCC, right? To test satellite to phone service. This is getting amazing. SpaceX got the green light from the FCC to test Starlink's direct-to-cell service with T-Mobile across Oregon and Nevada and Kansas. I am so excited about this. This is literally the new internet, right? Where you can go anywhere in the world, airplane, cruise in the middle of the ocean, jungle, Alaskan tundra, Antarctica, and get the internet, right? That's the world we're going to, and it's moving quickly. So keep that in mind as we look at this information today, because we're going to focus primarily on what's happening in the monetary system that absolutely is colliding with the digital asset industry. There's no question about it, and I'm going to show you that today. This is a reminder that the appeal has been docketed on the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit PACER docketing system. Thank you to Jim. This is not revealing what they are suing over. The original filing is over the judgment itself. I know that pundits have said that they can't argue whether it's a security or not, and they've said that previously the SEC said that they would not challenge that. But, right now what we understand, and we'll find out in another week or so, we understand that they are appealing the entire decision. But we'll see what goes on when they write the actual official appeal reasons. We'll find out here. But now look at this. Oh, boy. Boy, I tell you. This is that Da Vinci guy who, for as long as I've been in this space, has been running his uninformed and uneducated mouth about XRP. And then finally, in the most ironic sweep, it's Matt Hamilton, who's become one of the biggest trolls in the XRP community, who sets his Bitcoin maxi ass right. That's how upside down the polarity has flipped here, right? Unbelievable. But yet it happened in an amazing, profound way. Matt was amazing in this. He's a very smart man. There's no question about it. But the reality is that this Da Vinci guy showed zero humility throughout this thing, and he got stuffed around every corner. It reminds me of that time you watched a Bitcoin maxi realize they've been playing with the crypto version of a pager. I don't even need to play this. Dude, it's so embarrassing how he got stuffed. It's so bad. It's so bad. Again, it never gets old watching Bitcoin maxis realize there is superior tech out here that is carbon neutral solution. Put all mine Bitcoin, yes, all mine Bitcoin on the XRP ledger in a pool, just like you do XRP and AMMs, and instantly you can create a better transactional experience together for all. Not maxi talk, together for all. Yeah, take a listen.
To get higher as the mining subsidies disappear, then the fees are going to get higher and higher, and it's going to be your banks, your rich people, whatever, they're going to use it, because the everyday person is just simply not going to be able to afford to transact on Bitcoin. So they're going to have to use layer twos that just, most of those remove the interesting aspects that make Bitcoin unique. And so you might as well use something instead that is far more pragmatic.
That was a polite way of saying it's far more superior.
With this approach. And like I said, the XRP ledger was created by Bitcoin developers who understood this, right? That is why they created the XRP ledger, because they understood this. And one of the first use cases of Bitcoin, of the XRP ledger, was to tokenize Bitcoin, right? That's why it was the first blockchain to have a DEX, the first blockchain to support tokenization, because one of its early use cases was to tokenize Bitcoin and, transact Bitcoin in a far more efficient manner.
There you go. And, it's the lack of humility here from this man, right? For years, not days, not weeks, not months, for years, this man has talked so much trash on XRP, it is not even funny. And for him to sit there with the lack of humility after being set straight just tells you what the lack of character is within that man, right? That's how you know. People's actions. Don't worry about what they say, right? Pay attention to what they do. There's a chance right there to have complete humility. He showed none. So there's the integrity inside the man, right? That's how we do it. Now, the world's biggest derivatives exchange, CME Group, looking to launch a physical Bitcoin product. Oh, and they're also speaking at Ripple Swell in 2024. Just thought I'd remind you. Stuart Alderati says, which industry was subject to early speculation, corruption, and bankruptcy before eventual consolidation by a few good actors, resulting in mass adoption of the transformative innovation? I picked the internet of the 90s. You could have also gone with the railroads, which is the Biltmores, right, and where they got their fortune, or cryptocurrency today, or all of the above. But then I think to myself, wait a minute, there hasn't been mass adoption yet, so I didn't pick cryptocurrency. But nonetheless, all of this reminds me of the moment before the internet got the Telecommunications Act. And isn't that where we saw the legislation go through to allow the masses to begin to participate in the internet then? What we're missing now, this has been grassroots from the bottom up with crypto. What we need now is the inflection point. The inflection point is not just institutions, it's the legislation and the clarity from legislation that allows the institutions to adopt it from the top down, which is the reverse of how the internet came to be. The internet was used by governments and military before people were allowed to play with it. We're going in reverse this time. Don't get it twisted. We're early to this space, not late. SBI sports salaries of athletes participating in SBI esports are paid in XRP. Just thought you should know. Shout out to Emmy Yoshikawa for this one.
e スポーツという e スポーツのね、子会社があるんですけども、そこに参画するアスリートのお給料が XRP で払われたりとか、まあ結構いろんな
There you have it. Are paid in XRP. XRP is used in
場面で XRP が使われているん
of
です。e ス
various
ポーツ
situations. And there you have it. And we also find out that Emmy Yoshikawa is extremely smart and speaks multiple languages. And I do not. So I'm very dumb. There you go. She's also a very super sweet and nice and kind person. I have met her twice, I think, now. And it's been wonderful. All right. Amazing photo here. If you stop and think about it, the largest asset manager in the world making a well-polished case for Bitcoin to clients with ginormous chart of dissemination of the dollar's purchasing power since the establishment of the Fed. This is what they've been up to. Here's the Fed's handiwork. And by the way, Eric Balchunas will be speaking at Ripple Swell too. Now, he'll be speaking about ETFs, but he's reminding us here about the Fed's contribution to destroying the dollar in our country. How about that one, right? Give it up for the Fed, everybody. Who's getting a t-shirt? Not me. Here's another little fancy thing. The global reserve currency status from the last 5 countries that have had the privilege to hold the global reserve currency status. Out of the last 5, Portugal and the Netherlands had an 80-year lifespan. And the USA, in its current role, is at 80 years. We're not at a place where we're talking about something that isn't going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. This is a problem, okay? And I don't find it mutually exclusive that the Fed's contribution to destroy the dollar over the last 100 years, right? Look where we're at. We're at cents now. 3 cents, December 23. The real purchasing power of the dollar in the last 100 years. That's the effect of it. And we know that we're at 80 years, just like 2 of the last 5 that struggled and then died. They ran out of gas. And then someone else had to take their place, right? And in this case, when the Netherlands went down, it was France that took its place, right? And in this case, when Portugal went down, Spain took its place. So this is where we are. Something must be done. We're getting there. Stay with me. Now we talk about Tether, because Tether has had a bullseye on its back from day one. But then we learned and found out very quickly that Tether last year announced very proudly that they had partnered with the FBI and the Secret Service, which is striking because the Secret Service was originally created to chase down counterfeiters of the US dollar. Huh? How about that one? Fun little fact. USDTether CEO says, Tether is the US government's best friend. Paulo Ardoino added that Tether holds more US treasuries than Germany and any other competitor. Well, Ashley Prosper says, that sounds like a threat to me. Take us down and we'll dump all of these US treasuries? I felt the same way when I read it. I was like, what in the world am I watching here? And then I thought to myself, let's pull back a little bit, right? We already know Tether's partner with the FBI and Secret Service. What if Tether is forced out by regulation, like in the EU currently, which is going to start in November? Coinbase is delisting Tether in November, next month. How much could the real USD pick up in market cap from such a move of Tether being forced out of the EU and maybe the US as well when we get legislation? Could the real USD become a more highly regulated, white-labeled version of Tether in order to keep it together? Right? Could they literally be captured right now by the U.S. government's FBI and Secret Service and handed over to something like the real USD, which is highly regulated and has the board of a director like the 43rd treasurer Rosie Rios on it. Craig Phillips was an advisor. Michael S. Barr was an advisor, and now the VP of the Federal Reserve itself. Susan Friedman came from the Treasury as well. These connections beg to ask the question to me. Exciting times. I don't know what happens, but I'll say this. Even if Tether lives, if Tether was put on the XRP ledger to monitor its transactions, because we know they don't like to do attestations and real audits, if they put it all on the XRP ledger, then so too would be the majority of the crypto industry now, wouldn't it? Or maybe they just kill it and force all of that bonds that he believes could damage us if they were to drop them right away, would just be scooped up by other players like USDC, RLUSD. And don't forget, Visa's doing a stable coin, BlackRock's doing a stable coin, PayPal's doing a stable coin. I'm a pepper, you're a pepper. Don't you want to be a pepper too? Can't you see what's coming? It's the acknowledgement that hyperinflated bonds are coming home, ladies and gentlemen. They're giving a new use case for people to be able to hold these bonds so they can launch a digital dollar too. Wouldn't you want to be a pepper too? You know, this is what I see happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to Brad Garlinghouse really quickly.
The success Ripple has had working with financial institutions, I think, sets up for RLUSD or Ripple USD for success. And again, we think it helps the overall XRPL ecosystem because it just adds liquidity on Ledger. So we're excited about that. We are very close to. I think earlier today somebody asked me for a timeline. I just said weeks, not months, because of But we're getting there pretty quickly, and we just want to make sure we launch with kind of full regulatory oversight out of the gates to keep everybody happy.
There you go. And that's the way to do it, not unlike how Tether did it, right? And we know that there's more than 30 million RLUSD been minted in beta so far, and it's catching everybody's eye. So head on a swivel when it comes to that, and head on a swivel when it comes to finding out about USDTether. Coinbase is delisting next month. That's what's happening. Coinbase will remove stablecoins that don't meet the EU's MiCA regulations by December 30th, 2024. Coinbase put out the article and said starting in November. That's what they said. I remind you of this. This was a writing I covered years ago. It was from 2015. I covered it since probably 2019 off and on. I found where I posted it in 2022. But nonetheless, this was from Deloitte, one of the top 4 accounting firms. And this is what they had to say. When you want to institute something into the financial system, you basically just have to force your will upon the market itself and mandate its use. Money is technology for resolving obligations between individuals who don't know or don't trust each other. The strongest possible driver for national adoption of a cryptocurrency, the strongest possible driver for a national adoption of a cryptocurrency is for the national government to mandate the taxes be paid in the cryptocurrency. Similarly, the strongest possible driver for global adoption of a global reserve cryptocurrency would be global institutions that can force their will on most cross-border trade, mandating its use. Well, that's interesting. XRP is really designed for such a thing. Travel over peer-to-peer technology platform inspired by the technologies that underpin cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or XRP. That's where we're going, right? That's where we're going. And it's something that has to be taken very seriously because listen to Commissioner Pham lay it down.
I think when you look at traditional schools of thought around geopolitical power, you have, of course, military power, and you have economic power, and you have the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. So I think people are very concerned that should, because of these innovations in digital assets, in particular, if there really is a movement towards certain stable coins, for example, payment stable coins that are not, clearly they're not digital fiat because that would be a CBDC. And they're also not tokenized commercial bank money. And so if there's ambiguity over that regulation and over what those stable coins might be, people are really worried that that's going to be a movement away from the US dollars, the world's reserve currency.
Did you hear what she just said? I just walked you through it. But she's not a YouTuber. She's a commissioner of the CFTC. Keep listening.
And that is a national security issue for the United States, as well as a deeply monetary policy issue as well.
Which is why I suspect the FBI and the Secret Service has partnered with the USDTether.
So this is really, I think, things that people are thinking about, and it's things that people are concerned about. And I think there are also concerns about what does it mean, again, from a geopolitical perspective, if should another currency arise as the world's reserve currency, or if there's a non-state currency, so to speak, that becomes a world's reserve. That's another thing that I think people are very concerned about.
That is probably one of the most candid and honest comments and remarks I've ever heard from a regulator in my life. Does she sound like a YouTuber? A little bit. But you know what? That's her job, though. Right? And my job is to comment and find these things that stand out when you see these little glimpses of them sharing the real concerns that are going on in those board meetings and those meetings collectively between agencies around the world. Here's a chart you're going to want to see to finish it out and take us home. I'm sorry for the longer video today, but some days it's important. You got to make the video you know you need to make. This is the dollar Dixie chart, and it is a direct inverse correlation to crypto. So when the dollar's strong, assets are down like crypto. When the dollar goes weak, assets get very strong. Well, looking here, Eggrad Crypto says, Dixie still play out update. The Dixie is at a critical juncture. Either it gets rejected from the 21 EMA or it hits the kick it down line for a rejection. The Dixie will roll down, and when it does, risk on assets will take off. And there's your chart. All of these things that I've laid out today, I hope show you a larger picture of what I believe is going on. I don't know the end result or the outcome, but I do not find it mutually exclusive that USDTether is being forced out of the EU, and I suspect will be forced out of the United States when it comes to legislation. At the same time that we know commissioners are talking about non-sovereign money challenging the world global reserve status of the US dollar. At the same time that we're about to see BlackRock, PayPal, and everyone else launch a stable coin, and yes, Ripple with the real USD. What a moment this is in our life. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the freedom zone, and it only gets better. You're going to want to come with me today. It's maddening to watch what is happening to the people who have been devastated by the recent natural disaster. I won't go any further than that because I'm going in the freedom zone, and I don't want to have any kind of censorship on my channel. I hope you will join me. You need to see this. This is what your government with your dollars and my dollars are doing to our own citizens. And it just doesn't. We'll see you inside the Freedom Zone. Go to digitalperspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone, come on in for next to nothing. It's a great way to support the channel. We're super grateful for anyone who does. No doubt about it. That's going to do it for us. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come on in. All right.